Hello everyone, I just want to make a quick video showcasing an upcoming indie game. This is Nitro, and as you may be able to tell from the gameplay already, it is a 3D platformer inspired by the original Spyro the Dragon series. Now, if you watch some of my other videos, you probably realize that I'm a pretty big fan of Spyro the Dragon, so of course I'm super excited to see this coming along. The developer has released a demo, which is what we're playing through right now, and it's just to showcase basic movement and controls, kind of how the core gameplay is going to work. And I've got to say, I'm very impressed with how far along this demo seems to be. It looks like we have most of the basic functionality and movement already down. The character controls very well. It reminds me very much of Spyro. It absolutely scratches that itch. You have all the basic functionality that Spyro had, such as charging around. Well, in this case, you're using your rocket jet to boost along and skate across the levels. You can also glide using these afterburners here. There's also a hover function at the end of your glide. And of course, instead of a flame breath, we actually have an electric breath, because instead of playing a dragon, we're playing a robotic cat. And I had to say, I find this character to be absolutely adorable. I love the little electrical socket that it has for a tail. So what we're seeing here is the collectibles. And this is another feature that I really like. It seems that the collectibles are these bolts and gears that are replacing the gems from the Spyro series, and gears seem to be the major collectibles, like the crystal dragons from Spyro 1, or orbs, or dragon eggs, something like that. I really like the setting a lot. I think it's a great kind of meshing of both the worlds of Ratchet & Clank and Spyro, and I'm not sure if the developer intended that or not. It's kind of hard to believe that they didn't, but I love the idea of collecting bolts. I love the idea of exploring these open environments in this fun sci-fi kind of world that is still reminiscent of the Spyro series. As I said, it feels like it's kind of a blending of the best parts of both Ratchet & Clank and Spyro. So I'm super excited to see where that goes. Now, even though we are playing a robotic cat, and neither cats nor robots typically like water that much, you have no problem swimming in this game. And swim controls feel very nice. You can swim around here and even breach like a dolphin. Whee! And again, I'm super impressed by how well the controls feel at this early in development. I'm very excited that the developer has decided to go the route of creating an original IP that's inspired by Spyro and paying homage to it, sort of the yooka-laylee route, as it were. There are currently several Spyro fan projects that are in development, and of course I'm looking forward to those. It looks like some very talented and passionate people are behind them. But the problem with fan games is always a legal one, right? Like, number one, you can't commercially produce it, so there's no way that you can pay to support the developer. And number two, even if you're distributing it non-commercially, there's a very large precedent for fan games being taken down. So the odds of seeing a fan game actually make it all the way through development, number one, and then continue to stay up and not be taken down by the trademark holder is very slim. So I'm very excited to see that, like, we've got a game that is hitting all those targets that Spyro hit. It's really a great homage to the gameplay and the style, but it's its own original IP, so it has more likelihood of, number one, making it all the way through development, and number two, lasting for future players to be able to play. So despite all the similarities to Spyro, there are a couple differences. This is one I kind of like. So in Spyro, you would have metal containers and flimsier containers, either wicker baskets or something, and you would defeat the wicker baskets, or you would break them open using your flame breath. Here, because you have an electric breath, wood is actually impervious to it. So it's a nice little subversion of what you expect. So you actually have to charge through the wooden barrels, and these metallic containers, kind of like little generators, right? Now, this is a really neat feature. I really like this. When you zap them with your electric breath, you can see that they swell up and explode, and you can create these fun chain reactions. It's a very small thing. It's very similar to, the collection style of Spyro, but it's just different enough that, I don't know, it's fun. I think it's got some unique options for how you might set up chain reactions and collecting these collectibles in the future. It just makes it a little more fun, a little more interactive. So another thing in this demo is these skyboxes, and here you can go into these portals. These seem like they'll be like the portals for the different individual levels, and you can see how the skyboxes, as soon as you enter that portal, are all around you. It's a nice little effect. Looks like this is going to be for some sort of wintry level. And that seems to not be the only one. We actually have a snow globe over here. Similar effect, more snow effect, and again you can see the skybox changes as we get into it, which is really neat and fun. We also have this dumpster. I'm not really sure what the story on this dumpster is, but again you can get inside and see the way the different skyboxes take over. That's pretty neat. And here's another collectible for us. Alright, I believe that's most of the collectibles. There's one more. Oh, that's right, over here. The gameplay is very authentic to Spyro, but also, I've got to say, the aesthetics and the design as well are doing a great job of emulating that style. If you'll listen to the music track that's playing in the background, this is a royalty-free music track, but the developers selected it specifically because they felt it was a great backing track for a 3D collectathon. And I've got to agree. I've got to say that, like, listening to it, it doesn't sound exactly like Stuart Copeland, but you could say it sounds inspired by, right? Now, this is important because even though the developer did not actually create this music track, they selected it and they knew what they were looking for. They knew the kind of vibe that they were going for with this game. The developer seems to really understand what made Spyro so fun from both an aesthetic standpoint and a gameplay standpoint, a design standpoint. And that's super exciting to see someone that has a solid grasp on both of those principles. Nitro has a great emphasis so far on both the design of the world, the design of the characters, and the actual gameplay feeling very tight, and the design feeling just fun to play. So I am very excited to see more updates from this developer. So I'm including both a link to the demo and to the Patreon for this project in the video description. And if you're as excited about it as I am, I hope you'll support the developer any way you can, either through monetary donation, or even if you can just play the demo and give it a little shout out on social media. Just get the word out there about this game, and let's look forward to exploring the world of Nitro together. Thanks for watching.